Genesis 41. And it happened that after 2 full years, Pharaoh dreamed, and behold, he was standing by the Nile. And behold, 7 cows, well built and fat, were coming up from the Nile, and they grazed among the reeds. And behold, 7 other cows came up from the Nile, ugly and gaunt. And they stood beside those cows on the bank of the Nile. And the ugly and gaunt cows ate the 7 well built and fat cows. Then Pharaoh awoke, and he fell asleep and dreamed a second time, and behold, 7 ears of grain, plump and good, were coming out of one stalk. And behold, 7 thin ears of grain, scorched by the east wind, sprouted up after them. And the thin ears of grain swallowed up the 7 plump and full ears of grain. Then Pharaoh awoke, and behold, it was a dream. And it happened that in the morning his spirit was troubled, and he sent and called all the magicians of Egypt and its wise men. And Pharaoh told his dream to them, but they had no interpretation for Pharaoh. Then the chief cupbearer spoke with Pharaoh, saying, I remember my sins today. Pharaoh was angry with his servants, and he put me and the chief baker in custody of the house of the commander of the guard. And we dreamed a dream one night, and he said each with a dream that had a meaning. And there was with us a young man, a Hebrew servant of the commander of the guard. And we told him the dream, and he interpreted our dreams for us. Each according to his dream he interpreted. And it happened just as he interpreted to us, so it was. He restored me to my office, and him he hanged. Then Pharaoh sent and called for Joseph, and they brought him quickly from the prison. And he shaved and changed his clothing and came to Pharaoh. Then Pharaoh said to Joseph, I dreamed a dream, but there is none to interpret it. Now I have heard concerning you that when you hear a dream, you can interpret it. Then Joseph answered Pharaoh, saying, It is not in my power. God will answer concerning the well-being of Pharaoh. And Pharaoh said to Joseph, Now my dream, behold, I was standing at the bank of the Nile, and behold, 7 cows, well built and fat, were coming up from the Nile, and they grazed among the reeds. And behold, 7 other cows came up after them, poor and very ugly looking and gaunt. Never have I seen any as them in all the land of Egypt for ugliness. And the thin and ugly cows ate the former 7 healthy cows, but when they went into the bellies, it could not be known that they went into their bellies, for their appearance was as ugly as the beginning. Then I awoke. Then I saw in my dream, and behold, 7 ears of grain were coming out of the one stalk, full and good, and behold, 7 withered ears of grain, thin and scorched by the east wind, sprouted up after them. And the thin ears of grain swallowed up the 7 good ears of grain. And I told the magicians, but there was none to explain it to me. Then Joseph said to Pharaoh, The dreams of Pharaoh are one. God has revealed to Pharaoh what he is about to do. The 7 good cows, they are 7 years of good ears, and 7 years, and the 7 good ears of grain, they are 7 years. The dreams are one, and the 7 thin ugly cows coming up after them, they are 7 years. And the 7 empty ears of grain scorched by the east wind, they are also 7 years of famine. This word that I have spoken to Pharaoh, God has shown Pharaoh what he is about to do. Behold, 7 years of great abundance are coming throughout the whole land of Egypt. Then 7 years of famine will arise after them, and all the abundance in the land of Egypt will be forgotten. The famine will consume the land. Abundance in the land will not be known because of the famine that follows, for it will be very heavy. Now concerning the repetition of the dream twice to Pharaoh, it is because the matter is established by God, and God will do it quickly. Now let Pharaoh select a man who is discerning and wise, and let him set him over the land of Egypt. Let Pharaoh do this, and let him appoint supervisors over the land, and let him take 1/5 of the land of Egypt in 7 years of abundance, and let them gather all the food of these coming good years, and let them pile up grain under the hand of Pharaoh for food in the cities, and let them keep it. Then the food shall be as a deposit for the land for the 7 years of famine that will be in the land of Egypt, that the land will not perish on account of the famine. And the plan was good in the eyes of Pharaoh and in the eyes of all his servants. Then Pharaoh said to his servants, "Can we find a man like this in whom the Spirit of God?" The Pharaoh said to Joseph, "Since God made all of this known to you, there is no one as discerning and wise as you. You shall be over my house, and all your word, all my people shall submit. Only with respect to the throne will I be greater than you." Then Pharaoh said to Joseph, "See, I have set you over all the land of Egypt." Then Pharaoh removed his signet ring from his finger, and he put it on the finger of Joseph. And he clothed him with garments of fine linen, and he put a chain of gold around his neck, and he had him ride in his second chariot. And they cried out before him, "Kneel!" And Pharaoh sent him over the land of Egypt. Then Pharaoh said to Joseph, "I am Pharaoh, but without your consent no one will lift his hand or foot in all of the land of Egypt." And Pharaoh called the name of Joseph Zephanath Paneah, and he gave him Asenath, the daughter of Potiphera, priest of On, as a wife. And Joseph went out over the land of Egypt. Now Joseph was 30 years old when he stood before Pharaoh, the king of Egypt. And Joseph went out from the presence of Pharaoh and traveled throughout the whole land of Egypt. And the land produced plenty in 7 years of abundance. And he gathered all the food for 7 years which occurred in the land of Egypt. And he restored the food in the cities, and the food of the field that surrounded each city he stored in its midst. And Joseph piled up grain like the sand of the sea in great abundance until he stopped counting it, for it could not be counted. Before the year of famine came, 2 sons were born to Joseph, whom Asenath, daughter of Potiphera, priest of On, bore him. And Joseph called the name of the firstborn Manasseh, for he said, "God has caused me to forget all my hardship and all my father's house." And the name of the second he called Ephraim. He said, "God has made me fruitful in the land of my misfortune." And the 7 years of abundance which were in the land of Egypt came to an end. And the 7 years of famine began to come, as Joseph had said. And there was a famine in all the countries, but all the land of Egypt there was food. And when the land of Egypt was hungry, people cried out to Pharaoh for food. And Pharaoh said to all the Egyptians, "Go to Joseph, what he says you must do." And the famine was over the whole land. And Joseph opened the storehouses and sold food to the Egyptians. And the famine was severe in the land of Egypt. And every land came to Egypt to Joseph to buy grain, for the famine was very severe in every land. Be sure to like, share, and follow Genesis 41. May God bless you and bless the reading of his word.